I'm glad I did a little dab instead of the big one.
It takes a second, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that really kicks you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Ryan.
My name is Ben.
And you're watching Warm Ones. It's a show with warm questions and even warmer wings. And today we're joined by Dr. Jen Lin. How are you doing today, Dr. Jen Lin?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for asking. Dr. Jen Lin majored in psychology as an undergraduate at the University of Michigan before receiving her PhD in social psychology from Wayne State University. She also worked as a visiting assistant professor in Montclair, New Jersey for 1 year before joining psychology and philosophy department at Framingham State University. Dr. Lin's area of specialization is in social cognition, focusing on attitudes, prejudice, and social influence. So Dr. Lin, do you feel that you're ready for this?
I think so.
Okay. Initial impressions? Good? Okay, awesome. So Dr. Lin, when we were asking people to come on the show, you did let us know that you had to be on before June because you were going on a vacation. So where are you headed? Do you like traveling?
I love to travel. In June, I am just visiting my parents. They moved to Texas after they retired, so not as exciting as I'd prefer, but it'll be nice to see them.
Full transparency, we did a deep dive of your Instagram page before you came on the show. One picture of yours, a Taiwanese castle, really stood out to us. So what was the story of how you ended up standing on a castle in Taiwan?
Oh, see, I love telling this story. So my grandparents actually built that, and I'm going to inherit that someday. No, I'm just messing around. No, it's...
I actually believed you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was that gullible.
Okay, because I'm so convincing.
It's the sauce. No,
or it's the sauce.
Yeah.
No, it was just a really cool tourist spot that my parents thought I would enjoy seeing, and we thought it'd be a great place to take some pictures, so we did, and that was an awesome trip. That was the first time I had gone back ever since the pandemic, actually, so it was really great. So my family is originally from Yilan, which is south of Taipei. I was actually born in Taipei.
Okay.
We moved to the U.S. when I was 1.5.
How was it adjusting for your parents in terms of, Taiwan versus the U.S. culture-wise?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was probably language. They had taken some English courses as college students, but, as you can imagine, as a 30-something-year-old, it is very difficult to learn a new language. But other than that, they've really enjoyed their time here. I grew up in Michigan, so that's where we've spent most of our time. The reason they went to Texas is when they retired, they said, we're done with cold weather. So if you're from Massachusetts, you can probably relate to that.
Yeah, right.
I like this one.
It's very sweet.
I like that better than the first one.
Yeah. So what's something about yourself that would surprise the students or staff that you work with?
I don't think many people know this. I used to be crazy for figure skating. I watched it all the time. To this day, I can still tell the difference between a triple salchow and a triple flip.
Okay.
And for somebody who's never taken skating lessons, I think that's kind of impressive. It's a great blend of artistry and athleticism, and the athletes are just tremendously talented. Another part of it is growing up, I didn't see many people who looked like me in the media. And Michelle Kwan, who, was basically the face of the sport for over a decade. I think on a subconscious level, I thought, hey, representation, it's somebody who's East Asian, somebody who is similar to me culturally. So I just remember watching with my parents, rooting for her, and bonding over that. A lot of good memories.
Yeah, that's great. So who's your favorite now, would you say? Would you have a favorite?
Probably Kim Yoo-na. I mean, she's not current, but she did win the Olympics, so she's also just a great blend of artistic ability and athletic prowess. Very impressive young woman.
Great answer.
Do you think you could ever judge figure skating?
I'm not that good.
Okay.
I mean, I would judge in terms of, does this look impressive? Yes or no, but to my untrained eye, it's, very different from what the judges see, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to make that label?
I did it last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if you weren't working at FSU, what do you think you'd be doing?
So if it's ideally sky's the limit, I can do anything I want. Okay.
Anything.
I would love to be a writer for the TV show Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Oh, okay.
It's so clever. They do coverage of topics that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
I think John Oliver and I really line up well in terms of our values and our morals.
Interesting.
And I just think it'd be a great reason to get paid to do research on important social issues and educate people about these topics. So what drew me to psychology is I was, I think, a little bit atypical as a psych student in my undergrad, because in my friends who were psych students, I was the only one who did not want to be a therapist. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I just knew that I really liked learning more about human behavior, how we think, how we perceive each other. And as a sophomore, I took social psych. And when we got to the chapter about prejudice and stereotyping, it was sort of like everything just fell into place and clicked for me. And I thought, okay, I knew I didn't want to be a therapist. I don't have the skill set for that. This is what I want to do. I want to do research on this. I want to distribute this information about the research findings that are done on this and try to help people reduce prejudice and just learn to better understand each other, both at the interpersonal level and at a societal level.
Do you have any mentors along the way that you could shout out or say that they had an impact on you in your career path?
Oh, sure. Dr. Jane Sheldon, Dr. Marie Wong, thank you for all that you did. I wouldn't have been able to write my senior thesis without the two of you. Much appreciated. Shout out to Dr. Himes for teaching that social psych class. Wouldn't be here without your class.
How are you feeling so far?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
Good. You ready?
Yes.
It's going to be a little bit of a jump up in terms
Okay.
of the intensity.
Gotcha.
So just prepare yourself, get that milk ready.
Good job.
All right.
I'm glad I did a little dab instead of a big one.
It takes a second, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really kicks you.
Mm-hmm.
For a second, it's almost like, is it really that intense? And it's like, hey, I'm here. Dr. Lin, what keeps you at FSU?
So I love working with the students here. I love the type of students that are drawn to FSU. Something that I've noticed, so this is the third institution I've actually taught at. All of them were state schools. The other two were a lot bigger, and they attracted more privileged students, if you will. And I love that FSU, you see students who are just as capable as students at different institutions. That determination and that drive to succeed is just something that really has consistently impressed me, and that's why I've stayed here, because, as I said, I love seeing them grow. I love challenging them academically. I love challenging them professionally, and also just seeing their appreciation for us as the instructors. And, you know, at the end of the semester, when I get those emails or, you know, notes on their assignments, it makes everything worthwhile. I love the students here.
I'm curious, do you work with any like student organizations, or do you wish to? Maybe like the psychology club, or really anything, if there's any like connections you'd want to make?
Yeah, so there's several of the faculty right now who are working with Psychology Club and Psychi, the National Honor Society for psych students. I'm more on the psych club side. I started during the pandemic. I took over as the faculty sponsor of Pride Alliance, which is the student group for LGBTQIA plus students, and they've been doing a lot of great work. I love seeing them be able to connect with each other and have that solidarity and support for each other. So both of the clubs that I've been overseeing, you know, I've been so impressed with the students' dedication to each other.
Cool. How do you feel?
The temperature feels hotter than when I first walked in and sat down.
Right.
Other than that, I feel not too bad.
Okay, you're handling it very well.
Yeah.
I did a small dab.
Well, I do have
Dab's a dab.
I do have another question for you, which is that you recently won the, I believe it was Excellence in Leadership Award, with a giant gold medal that you had around your neck in one of your Instagram pictures. Could you explain a little more about, you know, what went into winning that award and why you think you were chosen as a selectee for the award?
Okay, so first, thank you for asking that question. That award means a lot to me. I actually nominated myself, and in my packet I made sure to emphasize all of the work that I've been doing that was inspired by the students here, trying to increase equity for students of color, LGBTQIA students, first generation students, and that led to some friends and I writing a lot of manuscripts that focus on the experiences of students of marginalized and minoritized identities with recommendations of how to better support them.
Okay.
So we wrote about 4 or 5 papers focusing on these topics specifically, anti-racism in higher ed, and then we also did some work on increasing equity for faculty of minoritized identities in higher ed. I think the selection committee probably liked that it was very consistent with our university mission to be an anti-racist university, and so you know, maybe there was something in that led them to say, like, hey, we like this work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got anything else? That was our last question.
Yeah, I think that's it.
In the final minutes we have, is there anything you want to say to any of these cameras, any of our viewers, any final words that you'd like to leave us with today?
And this can be anything I want.
Anything you want.
Okay. I want to say hi to my parents and thank you for everything you've done to support me. As I like to tell my friends, I inherited my mom's intelligence and work ethic and my dad's last name. Dad, you know I'm kidding. I love you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. You've been a great guest.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And join Psych Club and Pride Alliance too.
Yes.
Yes, you should do that. Thank you for the shout out.
Sure.